then we have to have unionized black voter ballots. So what that means is a politician has to appeal to us, right?
Yeah.
So if everybody, like you have borough presidents and you have people who run districts, right? So let's say in Queens, if every black Democrat in Queens was a part of the Black Democrat coalition, then when a candidate or politician is trying to solicit votes, they're gonna have to go to that coalition, and if they get the approval from the coalition, they get all the black voters that's in that coalition. Makes it easier on the campaign trail, and it gives us more power as a people to control the power that the politician is going to have once they're in in office.
One of the topics we have today. Wait, first of all, let me introduce myself. Let me introduce the podcast. This is Important Miscellaneous Talks. You know what miscellaneous means, right?
No, you're gonna tell me what does it mean.
Miscellaneous means kind of like random.
Random, okay.
Yeah, but important,
unexpected.
Yeah, important miscellaneous talks. So it's like, feel me? You get the gist of it. And we have today.
They know who the fuck I am, man. Come on, man. Stop. They know who I am, man. What you want me to know what I'm saying?
And the topic that I have today is, and it's an election year too, matter of fact.
But of course.
Did you vote last time?
Absolutely not.
You never voted before?
No.
No. Well, why don't you vote?
I mean, because first of all, it's bullshit. I mean, yeah.
I understand.
I mean, because first of all, it's bullshit. I mean, yeah.
I understand.
I mean, we warming up. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna break it down.
Okay, I feel you. Me personally, I don't think black people should vote.
I agree with you. Let's get to this black. We're talking about the black. Listen, so the reason why, right now it's not, it's steps, right? We're taught not to understand political science, right? Political science is not taught in our schools, right? And America is not a home, it's a hotel. So we don't have a vested interest in America, right? It's not a home, it's a hotel, it's a place of business, right? So we don't have a vested interest in America because we don't produce anything here in America. We don't produce the clothes we wear. We don't we don't have our own mills. We don't have our own textile mills. We don't have our own fashion houses, right? We don't produce cement. We don't produce or provide sugar, natural resources, anything. And the reason why we don't produce anything here in America is because we're disconnected from the place where we can actually get those goods to produce, which is Africa. And we don't have dual citizenship. So they disconnected us from Africa strategically, right? And then now China. Steals everything from Africa, stamps it, right? Stamps it, manufactures it in China, and then resells it here in America and throughout the world. And they were able to, parlay decades of wealth by doing that, right? So in order for us to, vote and have some type of an impact, we have to understand political science, and we have to have institutions that are in place that have enough power or government power to enforce our interests, right? So it's not about the vote, it's about the dollar that's going into the candidate that you want to actually win, and then having an institution in place to hold that person accountable to make sure that they fulfill the promises that they made on a campaign trail once getting elected, right? So then we have to have unionized black voter ballots. So what that means is a politician has to appeal to us, right?
Yeah.
So if everybody, like you have borough presidents and you have people who run districts, right? So let's say in Queens, if every black Democrat in Queens was a part of the Black Democrat coalition, then when a candidate or politician is trying to solicit votes, they're gonna have to go to that coalition. And if they get the approval from the coalition, they get all the black voters that's in that coalition. Makes it easier on the campaign trail, and it gives us more power as a people to control the power that the politician is going to have once they're in office. Then we have to have a institution that works with the coalition, and that institution has to be a government agency because it has to have some type of a power. So now it can hold that candidate accountable, right? There needs to be new laws created. So like when you're under oath, you swear under oath. So far, you know what I mean? So I it's not just it needs to be some type of an oath. Like, even though promises, like policies, right? You understand, right? So now there's a promise for policies, but those promises are always broken when it comes to us. So if you're the promises you make on a campaign trail is the laws you're going to pass, the policies you're going to make. If it's a president, it's executive orders, right? So if the president is not going to be held accountable, or the people that needs the executive order passed doesn't have the power to impose, then no change is going to happen. Right? So not only do we not understand political science, but we don't have any political institutions in place to advocate for laws to be passed to protect us or help us grow.
So I got two questions for you. Number one, what do you think is the first step in doing that? And number two, have you ever considered running for office?
Nah, not this time. Not this time. I mean, no, because I'm doing it.
Or city council, something like that.
No, for what? I don't see position. You don't need a position to induce or create change, right? I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now. And I'm laying down the first phase of my game plan, which is the information, right? The information, which is the inspiration, and then now inspiration leads to mobilization, and mobilization leads to organization, and then organization leads to change. That's a step-by-step play, right? But we have to understand political science, and we have to start changing the direction of the conversations that we have, and use these platforms, to mine those great black minds. You got to mine it, right? You got to search for it. You got to dig for it. And then when we find it, now we need to create partnerships and strategic coalitions and start to work together and create the world that we want to actually live in. Now, so for me, I'm in the, Obama Audacity of Hope phase. Remember before Obama, he had to write the book, and he was a senator, right? And then he had to, touch the kids in Chicago. This is what I'm doing now, right? I'm putting in my work now. So later on, if I decide to take a political position, I have credibility and authenticity and fucking results and proof of concept to say, well, hey, I've actually, done it. And I love our people. I love this planet. I love Africa. And I love America, and I know the purpose of America. So it's time for us to get our just due.
Do you think, because Obama also went to Harvard, so I think that might have helped a lot of people get behind what he was trying to say. Do you think you need something like that to stamp you for the people to, if it ever gets that far?
No, I mean, I think at this point people want results. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
And Obama's a face card, right? The current political structure is not in our favor, right? The government, there's no, black people don't have a seat at the table yet. So whoever's in office or whoever gets elected, whether it's a mayor, right? The current mayor we got right now is doing nothing. If it's a president, Obama has done nothing. his constituents, Biden, you know, he's doing nothing, right? So because we don't have black government agencies. There's no black FBI. There's no black CIA, right? You have to have an agency. Then you have to have an agency. Then you have to have institutions. Then you have to have coalitions. See? And it has to like, you know, like that's kind of like the system. That's like the hierarchy, right? Like we have to have a black CIA. We have a fucking government agency, right? Then the agency is ran by the families. We talking about bloodlines, right? So if we don't create bloodlines, then what are we doing, right? So now you have the bloodlines, then you have the agencies, then underneath that you have the institutions, then underneath that you have the coalitions, and then underneath that you have the actual people. Then underneath that you have the face cards, the people that you think is running the show, but work for the people who finance the actual show. A politician, no, listen, we have to develop our own independence, right? It is very hard because we're the only oppressed people that actually still live on the land of their Holocaust. The so-called Jews had to leave Germany, right? We still live in the land of our Holocaust, expecting the people who put us in a concentration camp to actually give us reparations in 40 acres and a fucking mule. That's like a Jew, a so-called Jew, is gonna look at Hitler or Mussolini and say, "Hey man, guten Tag, my brother, free me." Yeah. Danke, danke, but no danke, danke. Right? There's no thank you in Germany, right? Danke, danke means thank you. No thank you, right? So what that means is that Jew would have been murdered right there on the spot, advocating for freedom for their people to Hitler. That's cool. So the same way you wouldn't expect a so-called Jew to look at Hitler and say, "Brother, please take the gas away." Yeah, all right. No, more less. You know what I'm saying?
How fluent are you in German?
Listen, man. So what I'm saying is this, right? And for you motherfuckers who think I'm cat, danke, danke, you can Google danke, danke, what it means. But so what I'm saying is, you know, we're going to someone who hungers from trees, acting like we're gonna get laws passed to protect us. We're going to someone who literally cut the penis off of our ancestors, shoved it in their mouths, set that man on fire, acting like give us peace. We're advocating for someone who tie-dye women to a bark of a tree and had 30 men gangbang our women while being pregnant.
That's insane.
Ripped the baby out of the belly after just mass raping this woman while she's watching, stomping on the baby's head, killing the baby, right? Then taking the crying mother and putting her in a human-sized pot and boiling her body to a fucking crisp. And then taking that body and ripping that body apart and feeding it to the fucking dogs. This is what they actually did.
Damn.
That's not even half of the atrocities that we have experienced due to slavery. And this happened in America. And the same people who did that, their bloodline, their next of fucking kin is in power today. And we're sitting there talking about, yo, hey man, hey, what's up, man? What's up, buddy? Hey, man. Peter, Roger,
I know.
Todd, Bartholomew, yeah. How's it going, man? Like you don't get it, man. You don't fucking get it, and you wonder why you see so much police brutality, because it's political brutality, right? You can't go on Google and find Jew man shot by police. You can't even fucking see it, right? Because we're still living on the land. We're still on the soil of our Holocaust. See? Mm-hmm. And the people who are in power, their ancestors built the fucking concentration camps. So how do we change if we don't really understand what change needs to be? How do we change? We have to understand that we have to educate ourselves. The internet is our reparations, because it gives us a chance to distribute the frequency, to distribute the light. Willie Lynch in a letter, right? He said, "We have destroyed every avenue. We have destroyed every avenue by which light can enter the mind of the slave. What do they mean by avenues? You know, avenue like a route, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they destroyed the schools. They took away the schools. They took away your language. We've destroyed every avenue by which light can enter the mind of the slave. If we can only extinguish the slave's ability or destroy the slave's ability to see the light, then they'll be on the same level as the beasts in the fields. The internet, the podcast, the microphone, the camera, the lens is an avenue by which light can enter the minds of our enslaved people currently. So we have to make sure that we travel down that avenue with information to wake our people up to understand who they are, gods and goddesses. And then now once that light travels into the mind of that black man, that black woman, now we like, oh yeah, the world is ours. Yeah.
That's powerful right
Yeah.
there. Have you ever considered, have you written a book yet?
It's on the way, man.